What is up, guys? It's your boy Gabriel here, and in tonight's video we're going to talk about why is it important to wear a helmet and other gear on any vehicle such as this when you have no protection, such as a motorcycle. And without further ado, I'm going to roll the intro. Before I start, I would like to tell you that I would like to thank you for watching my YouTube shorts. I'm pretty sure the YouTube algorithm has been lately recommending my shorts to all of you guys that like driving, all of you guys that like to learn how to drive safely, and everything around this channel. So I would like to thank you all for supporting me by watching my shorts and basically liking them and sharing it to your friends. But I need to do more. Please consider subscribing to this channel. It's not just watching the shorts and sharing it to your friends. I need you guys to subscribe, because half of my viewers from my other channel, Redemption Gabe, all comes from you not subscribing. So if I were you, I would subscribe to the channel and keep this going, because my thumbnails are going pretty good. So if I were you, please consider subscribing. So let's go to the video. In this picture, you're going to see a motorcycle in a stock image, which I'm going to use throughout this video, because with a stock image, which I got this free on the internet, I didn't have to pay for that. But where I got the stock image, I went there, I searched up stock photo of a motorcycle crash and for free, and it's what I found here. But anyways, don't want to be using images from the news, because that could be copyrighted and it could be belong to a family, and I don't want some family member making a privacy complaint and then I end up with a community guideline strike because of that reason. So we're using that image because it's protects me from getting a community guideline strike, because I want to show a family member's example of a motorcycle accident. And no family members are going to be mentioned in this video without their consent. So it's just going to be generic stuff about preventing motorcycle accidents and how to survive. So let's start the basics. Why this accident happened? So this motorcyclist basically lost control of his bike. Either some debris on the road, which I see here, or I don't know what happened, but it happens. But how would he protect himself? Well, notice that he's wearing his helmet. Notice right there he had his helmet on and his visor on. Very important when you're riding anything on wheels where you have no protection around you, where you have no enclosure. That's why if I had kids and I let them on a motorcycle, I'm not going to let them on it until I double check to make sure that their helmet is on, because safety comes first. And you can see he tips over the bike, and notice that, yes, he was also wearing a jacket. Make sure the jacket is suitable. Don't wear any jacket. Make sure whatever jacket you're wearing is suitable for motorcycle riding. And it's exactly what I'm saying. There's also gloves that he's wearing for a finger, some arm pads or knee pads, or the more protection that you have, the more gear you have, the more likely you're going to survive. The most other thing that kills you in a motorcycle is speeding. Yes, I can't stress enough. Let's say you're on the freeway. Yes, you do have to go fast on the freeway, but that doesn't mean going 80 or 90 miles per hour on a freeway where the speed limit there is 55. Speed limits exist for a reason, to make sure drivers are safe, and it protects people from having an accident and to prevent people from causing an accident. That's why we have speed limits. And if there weren't speed limits, this person would have been dead because of that. And yes, if I see a motorcycle accident, just like how this happened right now in this picture, I would have got off my motorcycle and give the person help. Because a lot of people are not going to care about you and are not going to give a damn about you. So yeah, make sure that you watch out for others, especially if you're driving a car, which I'll go to next in a second. So now, when you're riding a motorcycle, whether it's a 2 or 3 wheel vehicle, well, 3 wheel, you have a bit more visibility for motorists because it takes up an entire lane. Vehicles like the Can-Am Ryker or Spider. And I'm not talking about 3-wheelers like the Autocycle, such as the Polaris Slingshot, because that's pretty irrelevant for this video, because an Autocycle like the Slingshot, I don't really call it a motorcycle. It's basically like a car, because the way how it looks. The only state where you need a motorcycle endorsement to operate the Slingshot is Massachusetts. Every other state, you just need a driver's license. That is all. Now, in any motorcycle, pretend that there's no one to see you. Pretend that you're invisible when you're actually not. And yes, motorcycles are not invisible. And yes, when you're a motorist, to make sure that these people, these vulnerable motorists, could make it to their destination safely, looking not once, but twice, but even 3 times, make sure that these people can make it home safely or make it to their destination safely. Because when people speed on the highway involving a motorcycle, they're likely never going to make it in an accident. And these people never made it home. And yeah, police officers, and believe it or not, have knocked on people's doors, meaning someone's family member's door, and to find out, oh, I'm sorry, your loved one passed away because they're involved in an accident. So, believe it or not, I'm trying to prevent this from happening. And how we prevent this from happening? Motorists like you that look twice, because it will save a life in a motorcycle accident. And try to assist others in the event you hit a motorcycle. The worst is leaving the scene in your car. And yes, I'm talking about if you leave the scene because you hit a motorcycle and you don't call for help, then that is considered, if the person did not die, but the person suffered enough injuries here in the state of Florida, it is considered a 2nd-degree felony for leaving the scene of an accident involving bodily injury. And that's an example I just showed you. Hitting a motorcyclist and not giving aid and assistance when you really want to give aid assistance, but then you run off and then you not show off the scene. Another thing is death. That is a 1st-degree felony in my state, which is Florida. If an example, if a motorcyclist that you hit later on dies and they see you ran the scene, either by another driver that has a dash cam or by whoever it is that caught you, you're going to be charged what's called leaving the scene of an accident involving death. And that's a 1st-degree felony, which is very basically a high level felony. And if he just hit a pole or something, left the scene, then that's probably a misdemeanor. Don't know what the degree is, but that is a misdemeanor charge in the state of Florida. If you're hitting a pole and you left the scene because you did not hurt someone or anything that you kill, a pole is considered leaving the scene of an accident involving property damage. That will be a misdemeanor depending where you live. And most leaving the scene of an accident are considered medium and high level felonies. So yes, how we can prevent this other stuff from happening? Of course, the helmet is likely going to save you, but it won't save you if you're speeding on the motorcycle. So watch your speed, because it will make a difference when riding a motorcycle. Because speeding wrecks your day. And I'll have it repeat after me. Speeding wrecks your day. So I hope you learned a valuable lesson from me. And remember, if you're riding a motorcycle, please put those helmets on. I cannot stress it enough. You don't want someone knocking at your door, all to find out that your loved one passed away due to a motorcycle accident. And this can all be preventable if you wear your safety gear and ride it responsibly and make sure looking out for cars that do not willing to care for you. So, and most importantly, ride defensively. This means looking, like I said, looking for cars that won't see you, and be willing to be and a watchful eye for aggressive drivers out there and also other aggressive motorcyclists. So that's all I have to say. I hope you liked the video. Please consider giving it a thumbs up, comment, rate. Well, not really rate, but there's no rating system. There's a like and dislike. But yes, comment, like, and subscribe, and peace out.
Inside of me, you better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him